Wagwan my youth, what's going on with you? Want to talk a little bit about this Est Gee story. If you don't know what the story is about, let me tell you. So Est Gee, a rapper out of Kentucky, was doing an interview the other day with this guy right here. His name is Bootleg Kev. He's a hip-hop media personality, and he does some great work, by the way. Shout out to Bootleg Kev. Now, in the middle of this interview, 29-year-old Kentucky rapper Est Gee decided to say deuces, in other words, right? Like, he just walked out of the interview. So I want to check out this clip right here with you together, live, and then after that, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Which,
What? Yeah, I ain't seen no picture of no NFL.
I've seen this picture of you at the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Which,
What? Yeah, I ain't seen no picture of no NFL.
well, I saw you in like the NFL Combine looking like workout.
Yeah, like
Shit.
a workout.
Was that just a workout you were doing for a team?
I don't know how you see the picture. You ain't read the article that came with it.
I just saw a YouTube video where they were talking about you, and like I was just watching some of your high school highlights and your college shit. Like I saw like
What YouTube video you seen?
Dude, I don't know, man. It was like a YouTube video. It showed like you announcing that you're going to Indiana State, and
What's the YouTube video called?
I don't know. I just literally typed in Est Gee football highlights.
Est Gee football highlights. That's going to be relevant. Let's keep on listening.
And I was like, damn, this dude was a beast. You played linebacker, right?
What do that got to do with music and shit right now?
No, I'm just curious because I'm a big football fan. So like, I'm just like, I'm a huge football fan, and I find it fascinating that like you really like have like. I was gonna ask you like when it comes to, I remember when you signed with Gotti. I remember the viral moment where there was just all this cash, and at that time I feel like there was like a bidding war going on for Est Gee at that moment. One, what made you rock with Gotti, and what is something over the last 2 or 3 years that you have learned?
What? Man's just walked out. Wait, they're in the middle of a conversation though. That's crazy. Wait a second. That's crazy.
Gotti, and what is something over the last 2 or 3 years that you have learned?
He just said, I'm gone. Man just said, I'm gone. Peace, deuces, I'm out. I'm out this bitch, bro. He just walked out.
For the very first time in Bootleg Hip podcast history, we had someone walk off of the set. Interesting.
Yeah, he's confused. He's like, what happened? I mean, I know what happened, but I also don't know what happened. So essentially what happened here is Bootleg Kev asked Est Gee about his football career. Est Gee used to play football, right? And it seems like that's something that he's a little ashamed of, right? Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know why though, because like it ain't like you can't be a football player and a killer. He a rapper, you know, he promotes this gangsta image, like that's what he's about. And then Bootleg Kev is asking him about his football career, right? And he doesn't want to talk about it. And he's like, what YouTube video are you talking about? What are you talking about? What you talking about, bro? And then before you know it, he's like, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out. Now, Est Gee ended up responding to the backlash, right? Because this clip went viral and people had a lot of things to say about it. Like, yo, damn, that's crazy. He just walked out. How come you want to have a conversation? I mean, first of all, Bootleg Kev wasn't doing anything but just, he was having a regular conversation, right? I mean, I could feel the man's energy through the screen. I mean, he was having a conversation. He was doing what he's supposed to do as someone who interviews people for a living, right? And obviously other things as well. But he pulled up to his podcast and he was doing an interview and he was talking, just having a regular conversation, and then he's walking out, right? So people had a lot of things to say about it. Like, a lot of people called Est Gee sensitive, goofy, a clown. Because why are you walking out when the man is doing his job, which is to have a conversation with you? But Est Gee, he responded to the backlash, and this is what he said. He said at Bootleg Kev, and this is a direct response to Bootleg Kev, right? He said, "You trying to play it like I walked out because of football, like I ain't did plenty of interviews talking about playing and talk about it in my music. You asking me if I remembered an old man porn star, if I believe in aliens and the NFL combine." And then he said, "What the fuck do that got to do with my album dropping Friday? And I literally just walked out that interview 2 hours ago. You already got a clip up? Question mark, question mark. You trying to go viral? LOL. 100. I got real life shit going. Ask around. I can't even. I'm sorry. I can't. This is hard to read. I got real life shit going on. Ask around. I don't feel like playing. So please don't play with me because I play crazy." I mean, he said it. He played crazy. So don't play with him, right? But it's interesting how he said, you were asking me if I remembered an old man porn star. That's kind of funny. But this is the thing, right? An interview is supposed to be a conversation. You're supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk. And let me talk about this. This is really important, right? He said talk about my music. So let's actually check out this clip right here, okay? We're going to check out another clip from the interview of Bootleg Kev asking Est Gee about his music, okay? He was asking about his music, and this was his response.
Welcome, though, man. Yo, I just saw your new video. You've been dropping hella records. I mean, we've been waiting on a new album, so I know that is what is coming. You're not dropping all this music for nothing.
Right.
Album is done?
Friday.
Friday is coming? Are you like in the studio all the fucking time, or do you like, yo, this week I'm just knocking out a bunch of shit and then I'm gonna go do shows, I'm gonna go get my bag? Like, what is your like creative process like?
I'm always getting money, so.
After all that, he said, I'm getting money? What? Wait a second. His response was, I'm getting money? See, I never understood why dudes make getting money their personality trait. Like, I get it. You can get money, but you can also have a personality and like, talk about other shit that has nothing to do with getting money. So he wanted him to talk about his music, and then when he actually talked about his music, his response was essentially, I'm getting money. And here's the thing, what people don't realize is this, right? Just in relation to this topic. If you want to sell your records as an artist, you actually don't do that by talking about your music in a lot of scenarios, right? I mean, obviously, your creative process and how you come up with ideas, that's important for, for your fans to know, right? But here's the thing. If you want to sell your records, you do that by selling yourself as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk. You have a conversation about things that have nothing to do with the music. And so what's going to happen is people are going to connect with you as a person, and they're going to support your music because they like you as a person. Est Gee, to me at least, it seems like he's more focused on looking a certain way than actually being a person worth listening to. And that's cool, to each in his own. If you want to do that, you can do that. That's fine. But let's not get it twisted. If you are not a likable person, you're not going to last in the music industry. You're not going to last in the music industry if you're not a likable person. If you don't have the mental capacity to have a conversation about things that have nothing to do with the music, what's going to happen is when people get bored of the music, there's nothing left. Because people want to support, people like supporting people they actually like, that are relatable. So a skill, the most successful artists in the music industry, they all have this. Every single one of them. A skill they have is, if they show up to an interview, they might talk about the music, but what they do is they talk about other things that have nothing to do with the music in order to give parts of themselves to their fans so their fans can latch on to all those things that have nothing to do with the music. And so in the end, it becomes more about the person rather than just the music. If you want to sell your music, you start by selling yourself first. Sell yourself first, and you're never going to have to sell your music because people will love the person who's behind the music. And this kind of thing is like a rapper thing. Like you show up to an interview and you don't talk. You're too cool to have a conversation. Like, I've seen that so much with rappers. That's rapper culture. That's hip hop culture. Because other genres, they talk. They're actually engaged in a conversation. They listen and then they talk and they share things, right? And it's cool. You know what's okay? It's okay to not want to talk about certain things. Absolutely. And that's the kind of thing that you handle before. So as an artist, right? Like in this, I'm pretty sure, I'm very confident, pretty sure that Est Gee did not explicitly state to Bootleg Kev that he didn't want to talk about his football career, because he's talked about it before, right? But when he brought it up, he felt some type of way, to the point where he walked out. And he said that it wasn't about him bringing up the football stuff, but obviously you could see as soon as he brought it up, he started, he started to withdraw a little bit. And then 30 to 40 seconds later, he's like, but I've seen this so much specifically in hip hop, like a lot of rappers, they're too focused on appearing a certain way instead of being someone. If you act like you're too cool to have a conversation with someone, what's going to happen is your fans are going to see that. They're going to look at you and they're not going to feel like there's anything to connect with. Because if you're a human being and you refuse to have a conversation about whether it's the football stuff or the aliens or whatever it is. By the way, the alien stuff is kind of relevant. Like, yo, I want to hear what Est Gee has to say about that. Because I got some shit to say about the aliens. I'm sure you got some shit to say about the aliens too. On the real though, it's just, you got to be able to talk, man. You got to be able to talk about everything under the sun. Just talk about anything. Talk about, I don't know, bro. Shit, the aliens. Or talk about coffee, man. I'm sipping on some coffee right now, bro. It don't matter what you talk about. You just got to show people that you at least have the capacity to be somewhat of a likable person. Because people like supporting other people that they like. So this whole thing about being too blasé, like, I don't want to talk, bro. Like, I don't want to talk, bro. I don't want to talk. That's actually kind of lame. And on top of that, walking out, that's even more lame. Now, as for Est Gee playing football, I think that's kind of cool. Like, I want to hear more about that. You know what? I'm going to do some research because I want to see what's that about. I didn't know this up until now, by the way. I had no clue. So by him walking out this interview, by the way, like now I'm more interested. Actually, let me see if I can pull up some photos right now. So that's a video, and I'll see if I can pull up a photo as well. But so that's Est Gee apparently, but that's kind of cool, bro. Like, why can't you talk about that? That's relevant to your past, who you are as a person. Like the fact that you're an athlete, that's cool, Est Gee. I like that. That tells me that you had discipline and you were actually out here doing something productive. Playing sports is productive. You're doing something. It takes a lot of discipline for someone to be an athlete, a good one at that. And apparently Est Gee was like a good athlete, which I had all this stuff is like new to me. I didn't know because I haven't like done my research on Est Gee like that. I've heard some of his records. If you want to sell your records, be a likable person, learn how to talk, be social, have fun. You don't always have to show up to an interview and talk about your music. See, the music is actually secondary. What comes first is the person behind the music. And if you can communicate to people and the world who you are, they're going to support you. Anyway, any thoughts on this topic right here? Est Gee, 29-year-old Kentucky rapper, decided to just walk out of an interview. What you think about this topic? Curious to hear what you have to say. So yeah, you let me know and catch you on the next one.